Hello everyone, welcome to StudyIQ IAS English channel. My name is Shubham Sagar. Article 137 is in news. Why? Because of presidential reference. Presidential reference, many people covered it. I have also talked about it in the previous, videos, so many things. So that is not the major focal point here. This presidential reference will lead us to review petition, curative petition. And that will lead us to Article 137. And we need to know about Article 137. This presidential reference under Article 143, why this? Will Supreme Court or can Supreme Court change their judgment? What is the answer to it? Will they be tweaking it? What is a constitutional bench? So there are so many questions which emerges out of this particular article published in Hindu on 24 July 2025, page number 8. So let's talk about this particular article. So see, understand one thing. What has happened, you people may have known about it, even if you haven't. The basic premise here is, earlier Supreme Court set a timeline for Tamil Nadu governor that you cannot sit on a bill, you cannot exercise pocket veto for indefinite time period. In a way, it is undermining people's government. You are undermining Tamil Nadu state government. Then President Draupadi Murmu ma'am, she has asked for presidential reference and she has asked for Supreme Court advice whether such timelines can be set when it is not explicitly mentioned in the constitution. In that regard, Article 137 comes into picture. You can see the background. Supreme Court issued notices that they are looking into this, presidential reference. Then there are other questions. Should they, or when president asks for these advice under Article 143 Clause A, presidential reference, is Supreme Court bound? They have to give advice, or they can refuse. If have they refused earlier? So there are multiple questions which we need to answer here. See this. The issue whether president and governor can be judicially compelled to act within prescribed timeline when it is not explicitly mentioned in the constitution. A constitution bench led by Chief Justice of India, sir, he will begin hearing around mid-August. What is a constitution bench? These are the keywords which you have to focus on. Constitution bench means a bench of Supreme Court comprising 5 or more judges. Cool. So now, what is presidential reference about? This is, again, we have discussed what is the whole issue. Tamil Nadu government petition challenging Governor R.N. Ravi delay in assenting 10 bills, and then Supreme Court gave a timeline thing. And president is asking about whether, whether it can be given or not when it is not explicitly mentioned in the constitution. Cool. Now, can Supreme Court issue an opinion under this whole thing, and can they refuse a reference? The answer is yes, they can refuse a reference. It's not like they are bounded by, or it's legally compulsory for them to give the advice. No, and they had done that earlier in the Ayodhya Babri Masjid case. So first of all, let's have a look at this first part. Article 143 Clause 1. This is not the agenda of the day. The agenda is 137. We'll go there. Gives the court advisory jurisdiction, allowing it to provide opinions. So they can provide opinion on this particular presidential reference. There are conditions. President must believe the question is important, and that's why she's seeking the Supreme Court guidance in this case. However, the court can only address the specific questions asked in the reference. Can court refuse a reference? This is very important. Do they have that power? Yes, they have. They have exercised it earlier, as we have discussed. Ayodhya Babri Masjid case, citing secularism. This secularism is explicitly mentioned in UPSC GS Mains Paper 1 syllabus. Okay, so now, are advisory opinions binding? If Supreme Court is giving some opinion, is it binding? Now, there are different interpretations. Like R.K. Garg versus Union of India case, they said that this advisory opinion given by Supreme Court is binding. Then Justice Chandrachud sir, he had clarified that such opinions are not binding, but more often than not, they are taken into consideration and they have persuasive value, as you can see here. Now, again, there are so many articles which are there in this particular article, 143, 141, and now we will be going to 137. So 141 says if Supreme Court they make a law, then that law is binding. Like they made a law earlier when they had declared that certain meters within states, and means, oh my god, what am I saying? Certain meters within state highways or national highways rather, liquor was banned. There was that particular judgment by Supreme Court. So that is a law that is binding. But these kind of advisory opinions, they are not binding precedent, but they have persuasive value. This whole point of Article 148, that also raises a question. What question? There is something known as separation of power, which is again explicitly mentioned in your GS Mains Paper 2. Separation of power proposed by Montesquieu, where he's talking about legislature, executive, judiciary. They have to work in their own domain. Legislature will make laws, executive will implement laws, and judiciary will check constitutionality of laws and executive orders. So this law making is not the work of judiciary. Why are they doing it? Are they impinging upon the work of legislature? Is it judicial overreach? So again, there are three terms, if you know the meaning of that: judicial review, activism, and overreach. Do you know the difference between them? If you do, you can post it in the comment section. So all these talks are going on. Can the court overturn the April 8 ruling rather, where Supreme Court had set a timeline for Tamil Nadu governor? The answer is not under Article 143, and that's where Article 137 comes into picture. So this whole presidential reference, this will not lead to Supreme Court changing their decision. They can modify it to a certain extent, like they had done in the third judge's case. So these three judges' case, that led to collegium system. This judiciary appointing judiciary, Karthik calling Karthik. So in the third judge's case, earlier in the second judge's case, Chief Justice of India, two senior most judges, they used to appoint Supreme Court judges. That was the collegium. And then in the third judge's case, they changed it to 4 Supreme Court, senior most Supreme Court judges and CJI. So this is a little modification. So they, under this presidential reference Article 143, they can make these modifications. They cannot totally overturn it. For overturning, you have to go to Article 137. And under Article 147 is review petition. If center is not agreeing with this judgment, they can file a review petition under Article 137, and then the judgment can be overturned. And let's say Supreme Court reject review petition, then the last resort for central government will be curative petition. That is the last resort. So this review petition, it is there under Article 137 of the Constitution. Curative petition has emerged out of different Supreme Court judgment, just like, you know, your basic structure has emerged out of Keshwanand Bharati judgment. So remember these things, they are important. Cool. So under Article 143 Clause 1, the court may clarify or elaborate on earlier rulings. As we are discussing, presidential reference Article 143 Clause 1, they cannot overturn the ruling, the previous ruling. They can just make some modification on it. If it has to be overturned, it has to be overturned under Article 137 review petition. And if that also fails, then the next resort for government is curative petition. So past example of refinement, 1998 judicial appointment reference, as we have discussed, collegium system. Third judge's case, there they have revised the structure. Earlier, Chief Justice of India plus 2 senior most judges, collegium. It was changed to Chief Justice of India plus 4 senior most judges in the third judge case. Cool. The conclusion, April 8 judgment remains final and binding. Presidential reference is not going to change it. Maybe some refinement will be done, but it will not be overturned. If it has to be overturned, it has to be overturned under Article 137. But the current constitution bench may refine or elaborate its legal reasoning through the presidential reference. Cool, sir. Now the other points which we have discussed, review petition and curative petition. Review petition, Article 137, where Supreme Court can review their judgment and they can overturn their judgment. I was talking about constitutional bench, 5 or more Supreme Court judges. They are giving a verdict. Let's say, right to privacy, K.S. Puttaswamy judgment. It was given by Constitution bench. So let's say 7-judge bench, they gave the verdict. So generally, if overturn has to happen under Article 137, it has to be given by a greater bench. If 7-judge gave a verdict, it has to be overturned. It has to be overturned by 8 or more judges. So that is generally the precedent in, you know, judiciary. Cool. So review petition 137. Curative petition emerged out of different, you know, judgments. It is not there in any constitutional article. Remember it. After review petition is rejected, curative petition is filed. So there is a hierarchy here which you have to understand. And curative petition comes after review. Filed directly after the judgment. Curative petition only after review is dismissed. You can see all the points here which we have discussed. And time limit is there. No fixed limit when curative petition will be filed. Cool. Now based on what we have read, let's solve some question. This is MCQ in front of you where like court refused presidential reference. Which particular case was it? If you know it, post it in the comment section. MCQ 2. Consider the following statement regarding curative petition. Again, if you know it, post it in the comment section. Use option elimination here. It will help you in solving this question. And these 2 questions you should be able to solve based on what we have read up until now. Again, if you feel like I contributed anything to your knowledge base, you can like, share and subscribe this video. I will share this particular PDF along with the answer of these 2 MCQs in my Telegram channel, Fun Study with Shub, because study should be fun. If you have not joined my family, Telegram family, you can join it. Also, sir and ma'am. If you're preparing for UPSC 26, 27 or 28, you can join our batch, our 2026 batch, July batch. This is a morning batch, if I'm not wrong, is starting on 25th July 2025. Today is 24th July 2025. So start at the earliest. Use my code SHS Live to get maximum discount. Ideally, you should be clubbing this particular GS batch with your optional batch. That will help you in covering your GS and optional. If you're preparing for 2026, ideally by January 2026, you should be covering your maximum portion of GS mains and your optional. So very important that you maintain a balance between both. And if you want to avail this course, you will go to studyIQ.com, you will go to UPSC English, and once you have gone to UPSC English, go to view all courses. And again, once you have gone to view all courses, see this 2026 batch which we are talking about, batch starting from tomorrow. Join at the earliest, because then you will be, witnessing orientation session, all these things, syllabus discussion, and those things actually matter. So again, buy now. Before buying now, see all the features. You have everything here: test series, structured material, live classes. If you missed them, you can watch them any number of times for next 1.5 year, 3 year, based on the validity of the course, which particular variant you're joining. If you clear UPSC pre 2026, will initiate full refund for you, 11,000 cash prize if you're a monthly top performer, and so many more features. You can have a look at this. Based on what features you need, what you don't, there are 3 variants of this course: Diamond, Platinum, and Gold, and you can choose any one of them. If you have any queries, you can call on this number 9240231070. You are seeing the prices: 34,999, 29,999, 16,999. If you apply my promo code, that is SHS Live, which you're seeing at the bottom portion, SHS Live in capital letters, apply it. Prices of everything will reduce by 7,000. Now, Diamond reduced by from 34,999 to 27,999. Platinum will reduce to 22,999. Gold will reduce from 16,999 to 9,999. So you can do that, and yeah. And apart from joining this course, this is actually very important. What you also have to do is, you also have to maintain, like, study for your optional. Please don't ignore your optional. I have made one video also if you go to this channel and strategy videos, there I have talked what is one thing which can make or break your UPSC dream, and that is your optional. So if you're facing any issue in your optional, you can join any of these optional batches. Again, you can use my code to get maximum discount there. And like you can see here, there are so many optional. That was a problem I used to face earlier in different institutions when I used to prepare. That I was like, some institution will like, we don't provide optional for this and that. You can see, so like almost every optional is covered here. You can have a look at it and you can join it. Prices will increase after 31st July. So that's it from me, sir and ma'am. What is your view on this article 137? Did you understand the difference between review petition and curative petition rather? And if you know the answer of those 2 MCQs, you can send it in the or share it in the comment section. Take care, be blessed. Tata. Bye bye.